I'm going for another of the big three this week.
Ooh.
It's Hermione.
Hermione. All right.
Yeah. So I guess you know who this is.
I have no idea who this is.
What?
Yeah, luckily I better know the big three at least, yes.
Right? Yeah.
Hermione, the very smart lady of the group.
Yes, the one girl.
Yeah.
Although I guess with three, you got to have it imbalanced some way.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a very intelligent, gifted witch, the brightest witch of her age. Very logical, perfectionist, rule follower most of the time.
Oh,
anyway.
yes.
Yes. So do you know Hermione's full name?
Does she have middle names?
She does have one middle name.
I don't know her. It's Hermione Granger, though.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Hermione Jean Granger.
Jean, with a G or a J?
A J.
Okay.
Jean.
Okay.
Yes. So kind of a contrast there. Hermione is a very unusual name. And actually many people, including myself, when I first started reading these books, I mispronounced it, Hermione, until I heard it spoken. And actually J.K. Rowling ended up writing a scene in book 4 where one of the Triwizard Tournament champions, Victor Crumb, can't pronounce her name correctly. And she wrote that explicitly to explain how to pronounce Hermione.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, this whole time I was pronouncing it Hermione.
No. Oh my gosh. Well, Hermione is Greek, and it means well-born, earthy, or stone.
Oh. Okay.
So this part maybe doesn't fit Hermione perfectly. She's not particularly well-born. Her parents were dentists. I mean, she was probably middle class, probably, but not, really rich or aristocratic. And she's not really earthy, except maybe in a down-to-earth, practical sense. She can be kind of stony, I mean, when she's upset with Ron and Harry, especially Ron. And she's strong like stone, immovable, bossy,
Yeah.
in that way.
Yeah.
But perhaps the more fitting way the name Hermione works for Hermione is that it's the feminine form of Hermes. You know who Hermes is? In Greek mythology, hint, hint.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to edit this out if I'm wrong. But Hermes is like the devil-ish, right?
Oh, no, that's Hades.
Hades.
You were close, so close.
Okay, I'm going to keep guessing then.
What's a 6-letter name that starts with H?
Yeah, right. I'm just going to keep guessing. Okay, Hermes.
Okay.
No, he's not the one with the shoes with the little wings on them, is he?
He is.
He is. Okay.
Yes,
yeah, but I don't know what
Second
he
guess.
does, but he has winged shoes.
He does. He is the messenger god.
Okay.
He takes information to different people.
Okay.
And he's also the god of wit, eloquence, and quick thinking.
Yeah, okay. That's where it comes from then.
Exactly. That's where it fits with Hermione.
Yeah.
But
okay.
you could say the messenger part works too, in that he's imparting information all the time, which Hermione is a bit of a know-it-all, and moves easily between worlds, between the gods and the mortal world. And Hermione was born a Muggle and easily adapted into the wizarding world.
That's true. And she also, in I don't remember which book, she does the time traveling element as well.
In book 3. Yes. That's true. That is very true.
No, but your example makes more sense.
So that's where her name is more fitting.
Yeah, definitely.
I did also read somewhere that the name Hermione was kind of associated as the patron saint of high magic, but I only read that one place, and I'm not sure that that's actually true. But it would be appropriate for her magically gifted Hermione.
Yeah. Well, we'll just say that one website on the internet was definitely right.
Right, definitely. You can always trust what you read online.
Yeah.
But there is another Hermione in Greek mythology. Well, there's an actual Hermione in Greek mythology, so we say, not just Hermes. So Hermione, do you know who that is?
No.
I'm guessing no.
No.
Yeah. Hermione was the daughter of Helen of Troy and King Menelaus. you know who either of those people are?
I have heard of Helen of Troy, but that is where my knowledge ends.
Okay. So Helen was supposedly the most beautiful woman in the world. And she was married to King Menelaus. And Paris of Troy came to visit and they fell in love. And he stole her away. And Menelaus pursued her to Troy, and thus began the 10 years of the Trojan War.
Oh, wow.
Trying to get Helen back. So before she ran away with Paris, she and Menelaus had a daughter, and that was Hermione. Yes.
Oh, wow. Some drama.
Yes. And then Hermione herself had some drama when she grew up. Not as much drama. She didn't spark a 10-year war, but she was kidnapped by a guy called Pyrrhus. But luckily she was rescued by her lover Orestes, who killed Pyrrhus while he was praying. So
okay,
it all worked out.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Are there any parallels between that Hermione's life and Hermione Granger's life?
Probably not really. There is another famous Hermione in history or literature.
Uh-huh.
And that is a character in the Shakespeare play A Winter's Tale.
Okay.
Have you read A Winter's Tale?
I have not. Doth not have I.
Nice. With the Shakespeare speak. Kind of. Or maybe Yoda?
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
Yeah, no. I get them mixed up.
Right? Yeah, Shakespeare, Yoda, same thing. But apparently Hermione in The Winter's Tale was wife of one of the main characters, accused of adultery. She dies in the first half, but later she returns as a statue and is resurrected at the end.
Okay.
So this kind of works for Hermione's story in Book 2, The Chamber of Secrets, because she is petrified by the basilisk, turned into basically kind of a statue.
Yeah.
But then she's resurrected at the end.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. That's like right on the line of like, could that have been inspiration or just a coincidence? Right. That's a tough one to know.
And there is a flower called a Hermione Rose, and it was named for the Shakespeare character Hermione.
Okay.
Not the Harry Potter character.
No, it's not a rose that turns to stone or anything like that.
No. I read most places say that J.K. Rowling took the name Hermione from the Shakespeare play, from A Winter's Tale. But I'm sure she has quite a knowledge of Greek mythology as well, so I'm sure she was aware of the Greek connection. But she has said that she didn't think her Hermione was very similar to Shakespeare's Hermione, but that it was rather a reference to Hermione Granger's parents. She was thinking that they were a pair of dentists who would have liked to prove how clever they were. So they named their daughter after a Shakespeare character.
Okay.
An under-the-radar Shakespeare character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then maybe some of the plot points based around Hermione were inspired by the Hermes connection.
Yeah,
even if
perhaps.
the name didn't originally come from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rowling has actually said that she wanted an unusual name for Hermione because she called Hermione an insufferable know-it-all, and she didn't want a lot of fairly hardworking little girls to be teased. Oh. So she wanted a name that most little girls wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine if she had a more common name like this is Sarah or something like that? Right?
Yeah. Like Harry or Ron?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just another way she's setting Hermione apart.
Yes. Although she has a fairly common middle name, at least.
She does, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Very common indeed. Let's go into Jean. Okay. So Jean is from Latin. It means God is gracious. And it's the feminine version of John.
Oh.
So it literally is kind of the most common ordinary name you could find.
Okay.
Yes. Which makes a good contrast with her unusual first name.
Yeah, definitely.
But actually, Jean was not Hermione's original middle name.
Oh.
We don't find out Hermione's middle name in the books until the last book, when she's mentioned in Dumbledore's will, and he uses her full name. But before that, Rowling had said in interviews, even though it wasn't in the book, she had said that Hermione's middle name was Jane.
Oh.
Same letters, different order.
Yeah.
But after she created the character of Dolores Umbridge, who we'll talk about on another episode, but she didn't want the two characters to have the same middle name. She had decided she preferred Umbridge to have the middle name Jane. So she changed Hermione's middle name to Jean, very close. And Jean is also the same, the middle name of J.K. Rowling's daughter, Mackenzie.
Okay. A bit of a tribute there.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to wait around to learn if Jane has any special meanings in that future episode.
Yes, exactly. Umbridge coming at you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go on to Granger.
Yeah. I'm intrigued about this
You're
one.
looking pensive. Yes. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, no, I have no idea, but I think there probably is going to be a cool little aha in here.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Granger comes from the Latin granica, which means granary, like a place where you store your grain. But it was also a Middle English occupation. You could be a Granger, as many last names come from people's occupations. This was a job that was basically kind of a farm worker or a bailiff, or like a farm worker who went around collecting the rent from the tenant farmers. And so this is kind of a nod to her plain Muggle heritage, you know? She's just this plain farmer last name here. She's a Muggle-Born.
It almost seems like, at least for Hermione's character, that Rowling kind of decided to make her name like keeping in mind what her parents and her lineage would have been called. Whereas some of the other characters we've talked about in past episodes, it seems more like she picked a name that was specifically like fitting of that character, not necessarily referencing their past or their heritage.
Yeah. And while it's not the most notable thing about her, it is kind of a part of her character that she is Muggle-born, and so she didn't grow up with this wizarding world. And so, it's fitting that some of her name is very, generic or Muggle-ish, whereas, but her first name is very unusual. And, her parents chose that for her, wanting to be clever or witty, and she ended up being that and being this extraordinary, she eventually, spoilers, after the book's finish, she becomes Minister for Magic. She gets the top job in the wizarding world, so she is an extraordinary person.
Yeah, well, okay. That's
with ordinary roots.
Yeah.
Hermione Jean Granger.
Cool.
So I just have one more little fun fact here. Granger was not Hermione's original last name either.
Wow, okay. Lots of changes in the editing room here.
Her original last name was Puckle. Puckle. Can you imagine
Puckle.
Hermione Puckle?
Just doesn't ring off the tongue as well as you
I wonder why
think.
she changed it.
Yeah. Well, does Puckle have any meaning behind it?
Puckle? I didn't even look.
We don't even care.
We don't even care.
Yeah.
It just sounds funny. That's enough. Right?
Puckle. Yeah, no, that just doesn't work.
Yeah. Guess she just thought doesn't fit her.
Nope.
We're going with Granger. Yep. So that's Hermione.
Hermione
Fitting name.
Jean Granger. Yeah, I mean, not as like wow as I was kind of hoping, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
sorry to disappoint.
That's okay. They can't all be like 100% A pluses.
Right.
But it makes sense still. Like, yeah, it makes sense that, some characters, especially this one, given her kind of family and her background, the name choices make sense. I'm very glad that those changes were made because otherwise we would have had Hermione, Jane, Pockle.
Yes.
Yeah. No, someone should do a fan fiction spin-off that's just like a horrible version of Harry Potter that has that as the character's name.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, it's good to get one of the big three here. And who do we have left then of the three?
Harry,
right. We've done Ron and Hermione so far. Yeah, so stick around for Harry.
Right.
You never know when he's going to come up.
You never know.
Definitely subscribe so that when the Harry episode drops, whenever that is,
You don't want to miss it.
you don't want to miss it. Or any of our other episodes, because even if it's not one of the big three, we talk about creatures and spells and places and all the other characters in this wonderful series. So definitely subscribe and check us out on Facebook and Instagram for reminders of when episodes drop and to join the community. We are at Potternims.
Exactly. And you can find us on Patreon. If you're looking for a little bit of extra bonus content, you can support us there and get a few perks. That's patreon.com/Potternims.
Yeah. Well, before you click out, make sure to like and share with your other Harry Potter friends.
Please spread the word.
Yeah. But until next time, I'm Erik.
And I'm Al.
And this has been Potternims.